Hello everyone, welcome to the biology class. So today our topic is prenatal development. And before the starting lesson, I want to ask you some questions about previous topic. What's the process of fertilization and how the zygote develops into a baby? So from the picture you can see the process of fertilization. It means that it's the fusion of sperm cell and the egg cell, yeah? And they come together and they fuse and they make the zygote. So zygote, it's the cell that comes from egg cell and the sperm cell, and it will differentiate into many types and they grow, also develop into a baby. So today's topic is development of zygote into a baby. First of all, to talk about the content of the lesson, we're going to talk about stages of prenatal development and embryonic and fetal development. After that, we're going to talk about 4 extra embryonic membranes. So next one is key terms. Here, the introduction of scientific terms you might know. Please, if you don't know, please write down them and learn them by heart. First of all, it's placenta. Placenta connects the developing fetus to the uterine wall and they allow nutrient uptake. And it will occur via the mother's blood supply during pregnancy. The next one is embryo. It's an unborn baby, less than 8 weeks. The next one is prenatal development. It's development of human in the uterus. And then the fetus is the unborn embryo. And it starts from the 8th week till the birth. Here you can see the picture from, it's the prenatal development, and it starts from the fertilization zygote. After that it divided several times and became an embryo, after that fetus, and finally it's the unborn baby. So the prenatal development, its process, it describes 266 days period from conception to birth, and it's also known as a gestation period. It involves first embryonic development and then the fetal development. Here, as I said before, zygote undergo the process of cleavage, and it firstly begin to 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage, after 8-cell stage, and they begin blastula. As a result, the number of blastomeres, the blastomeres is the cell in the blastula, they increases from 8 to 50 only in 3 days. Here we can see the blastocyte. Here we can see the final picture. It's the female reproductive organ. Here it's the ovaries, and here the fallopian tube. Yeah, the egg cell formated in the ovaries. It's the after fertilization they become a 2-cell stage, and it will divide by the mitotic divisions. Yeah, mitosis. After that, it became 4-cell stage, 8-cell stage, 16 and 32, and so on. In the end, it became a blastula. Blastula means it's a hollow ball, and it contains small identical cells. Here, the zona pellucida has been lost. After that, we see the blastula, as we call it the blastocyte, yeah, as a thin, hollow stage of embryo, and here we can see the inner cell mass. It means that embryo blasts and they develop into embryo. Here we can see the cavity, blastocyte cavity, or as we call it as a blastocell, and we see the outer layer of blastocyte. We call it as a trophoblast. Trophoblast, they facilitate implantation to the wall of uterus. Here we can see the stages as I said before. So next one, here after blastocyte has now reached, and they reach the uterus and they embed itself into the endometrial wall. Here the endometrial wall, as you see from the picture, and here the blastocyte embedded itself completely and is receiving the nutrients from blood vessels. Here the red ones is a blood vessels. And the cell of blastula start to differentiate into different layers as the cleavage processes. After that, we start embryonic development. Embryonic development consists of 3 periods, or of 3 months, as you know as the trimesters. The first trimester begins with the fertilization of ovum and continues with cleavage and implantation. Then goes the other process, gastrulation and formation of main organs. During the first 8 weeks of the first trimester, the developing human is known as an embryo. Here we can see the embryo. Embryo become the more complex. In the fourth week, we see that heart begins to beat, arm buds appear, liver, pancreas, and gallbladder starts to form, and the spleen appears. In the fifth week, we can see the eyes start to form, leg buds appear, and the blood begins to circulate. In the sixth week, we can see the lungs start to form, and fingers and the toes form. Also, in the seventh week, hair follicles start to form, and elbows are become visible. In the eighth week, the face begins to look like a human, and the external ears start to form. So, embryo is a complex. Why? Because it forms major organs like brain, heart, lungs, internal organs, and arm and legs. After that, from the 9th till the 38th week, we have the fetal development. So, embryo here after the 9th period, we call them as a fetus. Fetus grows and develops steadily until it's ready to be born. In between the 9th and 15th week, we have reproductive organs form, tooth buds appear, and fetus very active in this period. After the weeks of 16 and 26, brain develops rapidly. It means that alveoli form in the lungs, internal parts of eyes and ears form, eyebrows, eyelashes, and nails appear, and muscles start to develop. After the 28th week until the 38th week, sometimes it's 4th week, it depends on the mother's organism. The body fat increases rapidly, bones complete their development, and the head hair gets coarser and thicker. Brain is continuously active. So it's the final period after the fetal development. The baby or fetus is ready to be born. Next one is extraembryonic membranes. Here we can see the membranes, extraembryonic membranes. Extra means outside. It means that the membranes that located outside the embryo, that covers the maybe an embryo. Yeah. First one is amnion. Here you can see the yellow one. The yellow one is amnion. It's a thin layer, and it forms a sac around embryo. Inside the sac we have the fluid. It means amniotic fluid, and this fluid helps support the embryo and protects it. After that we have the chorion outside the amnion. Chorion, here the layer, chorion with the allantois, they contribute to the formation of the placenta. After the third layer we call it placenta. So placenta is the vital organ that provides the exchange of wastes, gases, and the other nutrients between the mother and between the developing embryo. That's why it's very important layer. And here we can see in the yellow yolk sac, but here's the difference. In human, it doesn't have any yolk sac, but in other animals, it might be, it has, but in human, we don't have any yolk sac. But yolk sac helps to formation of blood for the embryo. So next one is fun fact, like elephants carry their babies for about 660 days, while opossums carry for their baby only for 12 and 13 days. It's the end of our lesson, so if you have questions, please write down in the comments below.